Hey yo guys, welcome to chapter 1. So chapter 1, it's all about market profiles, right? So market profiles is the way the market moves, since we know that the market doesn't move in a straight line. It moves with impulse corrections, impulse corrections, impulse corrections, right? So this, we all know that this is how the market moves. So we have two ways of looking at the charts, right? So first, we have the basic of the profiles that we all know. So market profiles is a dynamic perspective and objective way of looking at the markets or the charts, right? So we have two ways of looking at these markets. So first, we have a simpler vision of this profile. So we have a ranging profile and an expansion profile, right? So as I've said, it's impulse correction, impulse correction, impulse correction, right? It's a ranging profile. So let's look at the examples that I've made for you. So this is an example of a ranging profile, right? So here, when market opens or a candle opens, it first goes into a range, right? It doesn't just expand. So first it's gonna open and then it's gonna range. Or when the day open, Asian session, it's ranging if we are trading sessions, right? So this, for example, we can name this as Asia, or the opening price of each candle. First, before it expand, 80% of the time it need to start to be in a ranging profile, right? So after a range, we get an expansion. After it opened, it's ranging and then it expands to the opposite side, right? So this is what most of us knows about when it comes to market profiles, right? So we have the second version, right? The second way of looking at these profiles, right? So we have the advanced profiles. So the advanced market profiles, we have ranging profile, expansion profile, retracement, and reversal. So we already talked about ranging profile and expansion profile, right? So we're gonna add a retracement on top of the two profiles that we talked about, which is ranging and expansion, right? So now what happens is that price opens, goes into a range, and then it expands. As it's busy expanding, since we said price doesn't just move in a straight line, it need to breathe, for in another term, for example, like it's giving us what retracement or pullbacks. So this leg is what it's called a retracement profile. After this retracement profile, that's where price can continue go to the upside again, continue its original move, right? So it's a ranging profile, expansion, retracement, or reversal profile, right? So on the advanced profiles, so example number 2, we have a ranging profile, we have expansion. After expansion, we can get a reversal profile, going to the opposite side of this expansion. Let's carry on and check another example. We have a ranging profile, we have expansion after the range, and then we go into another ranging profile. So we have possible outcomes that we can anticipate by only looking at the profile that the market is busy printing for us to deal with at that current price, right? So outcome number 1, after a range, we can get expansion, as I did show here on this example. After a range, we can get an expansion, right? And then after an expansion, we can also get retracement or a ranging profile, right? So we go back to this example for us to understand. We got a range and then expansion. After the expansion, we can get another range or a retracement profile. So that's another scenario that's possible. So these are the outcomes that we cannot get. So these are the possible scenarios. These are not the outcomes that we can get when we are dealing with market profiles, right? So number one, after we get a range, we cannot get another range. Price can't stay in a ranging profile forever. Like, it can't consolidate forever. It needs to move to do its movement. So after a ranging, we cannot get another range, and then after an expansion, we cannot get another expansion leg. So these are the possible scenarios when we are applying market profiling, right? So we use these market profiles as a filter, right, to avoid our lower probability setups or trades. And then we can even take it furthermore by adding another profile, which is a manipulation profile, right? So on the manipulation profile, how it works like this. Price is gonna range, and then it's gonna manipulate to the downside. So if it manipulated to the downside, so since we know that after a range we got the manipulation, after manipulation, what can we get? We can get an expansion into the opposite direction, right? So this is gonna be what is gonna be the profile, the way that it's gonna be looking like. This will be our chart. Like, for example, when we are taking this, looking at our sessions, when we are trading sessions, so this, it will be Asian range or CBDR range, central bank dealing range, right? So this is gonna be it's gonna be our London session, and then this is gonna be our New York sessions. So it's range, manipulation, expansion profile, right? This is a manipulation profile. So these are the possible outcomes when we are looking at this market profile that we are dealing with here, which is a ranging profile. So number one, after manipulation, we can get we can get expansion. After we got this manipulation, we can get expansion. After manipulation, we cannot get a range. After price manipulated, it already gave us a range before, right? So this manipulation, it manipulated manipulated sell side liquidity that was resting below this ranging profile here. So price already took out the liquidity. What else that it needs to do? It need to use option number one, which is expansion, which is this one. So but in this situation, after it manipulated like this, it can't give us it can't give us another range like this. It can't range, right? So another scenario number 3 here, after we have manipulated like this, another scenario that we can get is to get a reversal, right? So if we can get a manipulation, we can expect a reversal. It's also gonna look like an expansion move like this. It's also a possible scenario. And then number 4, a manipulation. After this manipulation, we can't get a retracement, right? So the ones that have marked X in between the manipulation and its following range profile or following leg, the X's means it's not possible, right? So the ones that I've used the equal sign is the possible outcomes that we can get when we are using manipulation profile, right? So the other thing that we need to take here when dealing with profiles, it's like you only focus on trading the expansions or reversals. We avoid trading the manipulation or the ranging phases, since we will be most beginners or intermediate student, not an advanced traders, right? So if you know that you are still a beginner or you are still learning how to trade the market using these profiles, you avoid trading this profile here, which is our manipulation, and you avoid also trading this ranging profile, right? You only trade these expansions, right, or these reversals here, this reversal up here, right? You trade what? You only trade expansion or reversals. You don't trade a ranging profile. You also don't trade the manipulation profile, which is this one, right? So for you as a trader, right, when applying a manipulation profile, want to trade the manipulation profile, right, what you need to do, you need to wait for the last sweep that's gonna happen here, which is gonna be what? It's gonna be our model 1 or our order block, right? So our model 1 or our order block is gonna be the last down candle that's gonna sweep liquidity, sell side liquidity on our left hand side, right? As soon as we get a close above, that means this it's a confirmation that we're getting what? We're getting a change in a state of delivery. So the down candle here, the thick bulky candle that's gonna form here, it's gonna be what? It's gonna become our model 1. The candle that's gonna sweep here, it's either it's gonna fill liquidity or takes out liquidity or generates liquidity. It's gonna qualify as what? As an order block. So that means this candle, if we get a close above it, then we're gonna use this candle as what? As our order block, or as our change in a state of delivery to take price to the upside, right? So this is how you're gonna confirm that your manipulation phase has ended. Now we are starting to do what? We are starting to expand to the opposite side of the manipulation phase, which on this example we're gonna expand to the upside since the manipulation came to the downside. So this is the end of slide of what? Of market profiles, right? So let's meet on what? On chapter 2. Hey yo guys, welcome to chapter 1.